This is the due date board. One of our volunteers actually had the idea for it, and we keep track of when our moms are due to deliver their babies um, with that board.
Wonderful.
It is anonymous, but we know who they are. And then bathroom, obviously. This room right now is just storage, but we were donated an ultrasound machine by another center, and we are just waiting to have a medical director so that we can offer ultrasounds to our clients. But right now this room is just kind of a catch-all for extra diapers and things that we have on hand. This is also storage. We've got diaper bags already packed and ready to go to the hospital for moms. And then all of the bins have clothes. So this shelf is boy clothes, preemie, all the way to like 3T, 4T. And then girl clothes, preemie, all the way to 3T, 4T. And our moms can get up to 3 gallon-sized bags of baby clothes every month when they come in. And then this is our boutique. Again, we're running out of space, but and this is one of our volunteers, Cindy. She is sorting baby clothes that just got donated. But we've got obviously just about every baby item you can think of, and our moms take their parenting classes for points, and then they can use those baby bucks that they earn in their classes to purchase additional items for their babies. This closet is for formula and bottles and breast pumps. Also some aftercare stuff for moms. And then this is our counseling room, which right now it has some stuff in it too, but normally it would be free of all baby items so that we can talk to the moms who are deciding what they want to do without the influence of the baby items around them. Okay. So I was actually a military wife at the time that I started attending Liberty University, and it was one that was offered benefits because I was using a GI Bill for that, for paying for my educational experience there. And I had heard good things about it, and I did my entire program. So I got a bachelor's in education. The entire program was online, and I started the program with a 18-month-old child and ended with a 8-year-old child, a 5-year-old child, and an 18-month-old child, and moved to 3 different states during that time as well. So it was flexible and easy for me to get my education, and it also reinforced my Christian values, which were very important to me at the time. So I focused on early childhood education and child development. My teaching license is pre-K through 3rd grade, so I'm little kids is what I like to work with. Yeah.
And so what brought you into doing this type of work?
So this was something that I felt God put on my heart long before I even finished my teaching degree. And I wasn't sure how he would use it, but I just really had a heart for women, specifically single moms who are struggling just to provide for their children. And I didn't know that one day I would also be a single mom. And that desire just grew over the years, and I settled here. I said I was a military wife, and so during that time I didn't have roots anywhere that I felt it would be conducive to starting something like this. So once I settled here after my divorce, and I knew I was going to stay because this is where my family is, I because of a friend who helped start this with me, I decided to take a step of faith and get it started.
The fulfillment from doing this versus teaching, I'm sure there's both
Yes.
way.
Equally fulfilling, although I do feel this was my true calling.
Mm-hmm.
I love teaching. I love children. I loved even working in a school system, but I always felt a little bit like I was still learning, even after doing it for many years. It was like, this doesn't feel like an exact fit. I love it, but it's just not fully what I think I'm meant to do. And ever since I started doing this, every day I just am happy to come to work. I love what I do. I love helping these women and knowing that I'm supporting them and making them feel loved in a world that often leaves women, especially single mothers, feeling unloved and unseen.
Mm-hmm. And in this world, there's so much dichotomy between people's beliefs and everything else.
Yes.
When you were doing your presentation, you said abortion-minded women
Yes.
can go somewhere else. So tell me your experience on
Yes.
that.
So if we change our mind, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But by and large, the women who come to us, they don't need their mind changed. They just need help in going forward with the plans they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so if a woman ever came to us who her mind was made up to get an abortion, we would still very much talk with her about that and just give her all the information on what we can support her with if she chooses to keep that child.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, it is her decision to make. And I did mention to a couple of people after the service on Sunday, if she made that decision and came to us the next day and needed emotional, spiritual support, we will be here for her.
Wonderful.
But yes, our main goal is helping the moms who are keeping their babies and need the diapers and need the wipes and can't afford, you hear a lot that women consider abortion because they can't imagine affording to feed another mouth,
right,
or to clothe another child. And if they're making that decision out of feeling like they don't have what they need, more than that it's not what they want to do, we want to make sure they know we're gonna help them have what they need. Yeah. So we do have quite a few moms who are homeless, and that is very challenging because that is not a need we are equipped to meet, at least not on a long-term basis. So we can do a hotel stay, we can give them information on shelters and try to help meet that need. But in this area specifically, there's not a lot of affordable housing available. And so what we see that's very challenging when it comes to homelessness is there are resources, but they're not here, and the women don't want to leave here. And so we try to just help them as much as we can to have as many of the things they need that we can, but a lot of times that is the most challenging need to meet is adequate shelter, adequate housing. More than anything, the biggest praise we get is just they're so thankful that we're here and that they can come to us and just sit and have a conversation. Even more than the material things that we are providing them, they are just thankful to have a community and have people they can call, if they're not sure what to do, they're learning how to breastfeed and they're confused, or the baby's got a fever and they aren't sure what kind of medicine, or, we aren't doctors, we can't give medical advice, but, just to have another mom to call and say, I'm not sure what to do. And then we can say, well, call your pediatrician and your pediatrician can help you. Or, we can give you a class on breastfeeding and how that works. And sometimes you just need someone else to say it in order to feel secure in it. You might know what to do instinctively. I think most moms do know what to do instinctively, but you second guess yourself and you're not sure. And so just having that other voice to say,
absolutely,
yes,
is always key.
Yes.
You have some lofty goals in your visioning for the next few years.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me about what you're trying to do with your expansion?
So the original vision, when God laid this on my heart, was to eventually be a fully operational prenatal clinic and resource center. So not only the material resources that we provide right now, but also medical, because in this area, specifically prenatal care is hard to come by. So the prenatal center, a maternity home, which is like a shelter for pregnant moms. Specifically, we would also include moms with small children, and they live there for a period of time, whatever that gets determined to be, while they get on their feet. So this homelessness that we're seeing, we could help longer term solve that for some of these moms.
Right.
So ideally, a home that is, 3 or 4 bedrooms with a couple of bathrooms that we could house moms in. I'm thinking probably 6 months to a year, while they either get through their pregnancy and have their child, or just temporarily while they're looking for housing. But we could help them. It's much easier to get them plugged in if we've got them every day. And, if they need to register for classes at Rappahannock Community College, we can help them with that. If they need to get their driver's license, we can help them with that. We do that on a smaller scale basis when we can. But if we, especially our moms who are housing insecure, if we we're able to say, okay, for the next 6 months, you're going to live here. We're going to help you get your driver's license. We're going to help you get enrolled in school. We're going to help you, get a job, by showing you how to interview and fill out applications and all of those things. And then, once they're on their feet and can find a place to live, they move out, and then we move the next mom in. Yeah.
And so, what's your plan for that?
So I've had a couple of conversations with a couple of different landlords. Those did not pan out. And we've also had a couple of churches talk to us about maybe their parish house that's sitting empty. But again, nothing has solidly moved forward. It's just been discussions. And so I'm one to just trust God's timing in that. That the right thing is going to happen at the right time, and if it's not happening right now, it's not the right time.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah. And so I was going to bring it to the OBGYN.
Yes.
From that.
So what we need to do the ultrasound is a medical director, which ideally would be a OBGYN. It can be any kind of medical doctor, but they would need to review scans for us. So an OBGYN would be the best type of medical doctor for us to have for that. And they would actually never have to be here.
Okay. It's just, you send them off and...
Yeah, we just send the scans off. So we do have a couple of nurses who are involved here who are either very willing to be trained in ultrasound or are trained in ultrasound. And we also have Rappahannock Community College right next door. I know I keep pointing this way, but it's right there. And they always have people who are going through the nursing program there and could use
absolutely
hours.
Internships and things like that.
Yep, exactly. So we could offer that up. Anybody who's trying to get their ultrasound tech certification, they could come here for hours. So, but we need the medical director first, and then we can just have, on a rotating basis, people here performing the ultrasounds, and then we just send those scans off to that medical director to be reviewed, just to make sure there's nothing that mom needs to get to a doctor sooner about.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that part. And then the last part of the full vision is a daycare center. Obviously, education is very important to me. So early childhood, infant through preschool type daycare center where we could actually offer moms positions so they have jobs. So they could live in the maternity home, work at the daycare center to get experience until they're, ready to go off and do something else, and then receive their prenatal care here. And so we kind of take care of that whole foundational, everything they need to get started in motherhood without being insecure about any of it, because daycare is another thing that's very expensive, and it's one of those trade-offs of, if I get a job but I've got to pay for daycare, I'm not really bringing home a full paycheck. And there is assistance through social services for daycare and things like that, but not everyone always qualifies. We've had moms for either daycare assistance or SNAP or WIC be $100 over and not qualify. But $100 a month is not enough to pay those bills. So we have lots of different opportunities for volunteers. We have client advocate that is working directly with the women. So you would come in the office for 1 3-hour shift a week. It does require about 4 hours of training before you do it, just learning how to talk with the moms and what to say, what not to say, and kind of our policies and procedures on those things. And then the hope is right now I only have 2 client advocates who come in weekly, but the hope is to match those client advocates up with moms. So they do the intake, and then they stay with that mom for however long she receives services from us, so that a relationship gets built. So it's not just, you're coming in and you're getting stuff that you need, but you're actually, like I said, able to call that person at, 2 in the morning when the baby won't stop crying and you don't know what to do, and just have that emotional support.
I think that's key.
During
having
that
a
time.
person that they're
so,
partnered with. And
so we're trying to partner people up. So that's one huge need is client advocates. But then we also have just receptionists who come in usually 1 day a week as well for a 3-hour shift, and answer the phones and sort donations that come in, and help keep inventory up to date, that kind of thing. And then we have event volunteers, so we're often in farmers markets and fall festivals throughout the late summer, early fall, and we just need people who will stand at our booth and talk to people and say hi and spread the word and try to pull women in who look like they could maybe use our assistance. And then we also have just organizing, so coming in, sorting donations, putting stuff away, and those can be the events, and the organizing can be more sporadic, just as needed when we have an event or when we have a huge donation. Sometimes churches do a big diaper drive for us all at once, so we get boxes and boxes of diapers all at the same time. Actually, I just sorted one this morning before you got here. So many hands make light work. So for all of those different things, the more people we have who are getting involved and helping us out, the more women we can serve.